The largest supermarket chain in the country is being accused of wage theft. So now, this is according to an article in Popular Information. On January 19th, there was a group of Kroger associates from Virginia and West Virginia that have filed a lawsuit against Kroger. And this is over what they are calling and alleging widespread wage theft, resulting from repeated and ongoing problems with their payroll system. So, look, this is something, by the way, that does happen pretty often when we're talking about wage theft, especially in industries like grocery stores, restaurants, etc. Now, look, let me give you the details, okay? So in 2022, Kroger had launched a payroll system called MyTime. Kroger touted MyTime as a testament to how much they care about their workers, about their associates. However, since its rollout, MyTime has apparently been a nightmare for thousands of employees across the country. And let me just note here that there's a bit of irony. Okay? Yeah, maybe this really does show how little the company actually cares about its workers, about its associates. I mean, based on what we're getting from these allegations from this lawsuit. So now, the lawsuit claims that workers have been routinely dealing with missing or late paychecks with amounts far less than what they're owed, unauthorized and incorrect deductions, and withholdings. One example, one plaintiff in the case did not receive pay for the 5 weeks that she worked there. So she worked there for 5 weeks and didn't get paid. She had to resign because she couldn't pay her bills. Another one had their copay for spousal insurance deducted twice for 7 weeks straight. Jesus. So what is Kroger doing about it? Apparently nothing. Kroger was made aware of the issues in both cases, but had so far failed to correct them. Wow. Another worker told Popular Information that they were evicted for not receiving a paycheck for several weeks. Yet another employee shared that they were loaning out some of their money to help new hires who are missing their own paychecks and don't have enough money to get to work because they can't afford gas. Others were forced to take second jobs or take high-interest payday loans in order to meet their daily expenses. So this is a place that's made billions of dollars, and I'll get to the numbers. But did you notice in all of these payroll system glitches, they have never led to any instances of overpayment to workers. It's always underpayment. That's very, very interesting. Guaranteed that as soon as this system, if it ever does, started overpaying workers, it would be fixed like that. Immediately. They would stop everything to fix that day. And by the way, they would immediately claw back any overpayments made to their workers. You know that for a fact. CEO, would look at that and be like,
can't let that happen.
Claw back. We got to fix that. Got to fix it. So look, this is terrible for the workers. Now, multiple Kroger associates told Popular Information, once again, that they've missed rent payments, bills, overdrawn their bank accounts, forced to take out loans, as I mentioned. But one Kroger employee told the outlet, quote, "I'm tired of having to beg for pay that's due to me." Absolutely. So now look, Kroger employees also are unionized. And that's what's interesting here, right? In fact, they're represented by the United Food and Commercial Workers Union, Local 400. So what has the union been doing? Well, they've also been bringing this up to Kroger. The union claims that it's received more than 1,000 reports from members who say that they are still having issues with MyTime. They've been telling Kroger to fix it for months. Again, they haven't fixed it. Not at all. Their response is, well, look, we've actually worked on it, and we've mostly fixed it. We've fixed almost all the issues. And by the way, I don't know why you're suing us. I'll get to that statement. But right now they're facing at least 4 separate class action lawsuits related to the issues in this system. In fact, here's the spokesperson back in mid-December, quote, "We have apologized to our associates and understand the impact. We have resolved the vast majority of issues and are ensuring our associates are paid timely and accurately." No, that's not what's happening. That's not what's happening at all. In fact, I'll get to that more of those details, but more of the statement here first. Kroger claims that they have acted in good faith and have turned the blame towards employees for failing to, quote, "pursue grievances, arbitration, and other remedies before suing." How dare you sue us? Just because we messed up and didn't fix it for months and months on end, causing you to get evicted or, to have to take out payday loans with high interest rates or, all that stuff. I mean, why would you sue us? Well, I mean, we did nothing to fix the issue. Shouldn't that be good enough? No, no, not at all. No, you actually have to fix the issue and start paying people. And give them back pay, by the way, because that's hours and pay that they earned. But anyway, at the end of the last year, UFCW President Mark Perrone said the union was still hearing from local unions. And this is to counteract the fact that they've been saying, we fixed the issue already. What's the problem? Thousands of people across the country have not received their most recent paycheck, despite repeated assurances from Kroger that the vast majority of issues have been resolved. They haven't. In Cincinnati, where Kroger is based, one union says it has been receiving about 40 complaints a week since the end of last year. Kroger said it was not aware of any issues in Cincinnati. What issues? No, we don't have any issues. Oh, forget those guys, those union guys. No. We're not. Everything's fine here. What are you talking about? Everything's great. Earlier this month, though, Kroger did actually admit in court, this is a court filing on January 9th, that they were having issues with their payroll. Tricia Halpin, a division assistant HR leader for Fred Meyer's, wrote, quote, "To this day, Fred Meyer continues to receive new reports and complaints from Washington employees regarding their pay on an almost daily basis." Now, this is about Kroger workers in Washington. But still, there's a suggestion, by the way, from Halpin, who suggests that a large majority of, and potentially all employees who received a paycheck under the new payroll system have been affected to some degree. And while all this is going on, by the way, how's Kroger doing? Very, very well. The company actually recorded $113 billion in sales in the first 3 quarters of 2022, an 8% increase from the same period last year. Yeah, I wonder why. And in 2021, CEO Rodney McMullen received an $18.2 million in compensation. That is 679 times more than the median Kroger employee. They're also getting ready to merge with an Albertsons. That would give the company control of nearly 1/5 of the U.S. grocery market. And then, by the way, everybody who's working for Albertsons would also be subject to wage theft. Great. So look, as I mentioned at the top of the story, wage theft is pretty common. It's not just Kroger. The Economic Policy Institute estimates that more than $50 billion in wages are stolen from workers every year. That is, that's far more than property crimes. According to the FBI, the amount of money stolen from workers through wage theft by their employers exceeds the value of stolen goods in all property crimes combined. And yet, most victims never bother to report wage theft, let alone are they able to go and take their employer to court. I think for obvious reasons. But let me just break it down. People have no power in the workplace. They're afraid of being punished. Look, a lot of the workers who had spoken to Popular Information did so anonymously because they were afraid that they were going to get fired. That's what corporate rule looks like. They have so much power over our lives. And even when they steal, they're literally stealing from us, we have no power to fight back. And by the way, even if you're able to file a claim, you have to wait for months, sometimes years, for the case to be decided. And even if you do win, oftentimes, turns out you don't even get your money back. This is an amazing stat here. A CBS News investigation found that more than a third of successful cases totaling $1 billion in stolen wages showed no money recovered by the employee. A third. They stole it from you. You sued them. You won. And in a third of those cases, they still kept the money. They still kept the money. What? That's your money, not their money. They stole it from you. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Corporate rule means they get to keep it anyway. Now, why isn't this a bigger story? I don't see a lot of people talking about this. And by the way, it's not just all credit to CBS News for doing that investigation, right? And Popular Information. But generally, you don't hear about this much from anywhere else, especially corporate media and Congress, where they can actually do something. Now, of course, there's a reason. In Congress, they're owned by the corporations. Corporations are their donors, their owner donors. They'll never help victims of wage theft. There are no bills being proposed to help them. There are no bills being proposed to prevent wage theft from happening. Why is that? It's because they run the government. Corporations run the government and own our politicians. They buy them off with campaign contributions. Apparently, at some point, some percentage of stolen from your wages, from your paycheck, to then turn around and work against you to prevent you from getting higher wages and to prevent them, to prevent you from stopping them from stealing your wages, stuff that the money that you've actually worked for. That's what's going on here. Should be a bigger story. It's not. And they continue to steal more and more from all of us.